Hi, I'm Dr. Heather Moore, owner of Total Performance Physical Therapy. Tonight we are going to go over how to sit at a computer. This is the number one thing we discuss and we teach all of our clients here because it's so important for everyone to know. And I think it's often overlooked, especially when we try and treat people. If you go outside of therapy or whatever you're doing and you sit at your computer and you're like this, you're obviously going to undo anything that we do in here. So it's so important that you pay attention to posture. And I know I get groans and people are like, oh my God, posture. And do I do a sitting desk? Do I do a standing desk? Do I stand on it? Do I sit all day? I'm not going to sit up straight. This is ridiculous, whatever. So it's really important that we go over this because if you are sitting at your computer for 8, 10, 12 hours, it is imperative that you have good posture and that it's not an attempt, it's something that you have to do. And in order to make that happen, you really have to have everything set up around you to have good posture. You can't tell yourself, I'm just going to have good posture, because at the end of the day, that's just not going to happen. So if you have neck pain, shoulder pain, back pain, I mean, you name it. Even if you don't have pain yet, you need to watch this video and figure out how you need to set yourself up in order to have good posture. The number one mistake people make is, oh, well, I'm not going to change my desk, I'm just going to change how I sit, or I'm going to change, all I have to do is bend my elbows a little bit and then I'll be in good posture. If you doing good posture involves you changing anything about the way your joints are aligned, it's not going to happen. So make sure that everything that you do, make sure your desk is set up the way we're going to go through, and that way you're going to be able to notice if you're slouching. Or notice if you have, or if you're out of good posture, because your desk will not, you'll have to actually move things around in order for you to slouch. So we're going to talk about how you need to set up your desk. But first of all, we're going to go over the popular topic. Do I sit? Do I stand? Do I need a standing desk? Do I need a sitting desk? What do I need? Well, years ago, they came out with a study that said sitting is the new smoking, and then everyone went to a standing desk, and then they realized, I can't stand for 8, 10, 12 hours. And an interesting little thing you should do is you should probably time how much time you actually sit. The iPhones have come out with this new screen time thing that flashes up how much screen time you use. What you should do is be timing how much time you sit, because it's a lot longer than you actually realize. But that's a little side note. But do you sit, do you stand? I tell people to sit and stand. They have really nice desks now that literally are on levers where you go from sitting to standing and from standing to sitting very quickly. And in that case, it is the most ideal situation. Now, having a standing desk or having a sitting desk is not ideal. Switching between the both of them is what you should aim to do. Having a treadmill desk is just excessive, honestly. I had to fly off the back of it about every day. So I don't recommend those. I don't really recommend anything with your bike either. You can't really get in good posture when you're sitting there biking and then all of a sudden something draws you in. You are actually there to do work, or maybe if you're even looking at Facebook while you're at work and you're zoning in, you're not going to be in good posture. So a sit to stand desk with a lever, if you're able to have 2 desks where you can sit at one, stand at the other, that's fine. Whatever you can do. I'm not for buying the all fancy components or whatever. You can build them with empty boxes and things like that. So you don't need to go and have anything super fancy in order to make these things happen. But the first thing you're going to want to do is get your feet flat on the floor, okay? Your hips should be at 90 degrees, or you can drop your one leg down. This is actually easier as it pulls you forward. So there is no effort for me to sit up straight with this. So I sit like this actually a lot when I sit at my desk, because I don't have to work at sitting up straight. It is really almost impossible for me to slouch without actually laying down. So dropping one leg behind is actually beneficial for you. Yes, you can sit on a ball and do this too. That's not a big deal. But this is good posture. This is good posture. This is not good posture, okay? But sitting here like this with my feet flat on the floor, it does make my back work a little bit. So this is not realistic. You do want to have some type of support behind your back. You do want to have a back to your chair, unless you're sitting like this, okay? So I don't sit a lot during the day, so I don't really have a proper desk that I can show you to configure it, because I don't sit for more than 15 minutes. So when I am sitting, I'm generally sitting on a stool, or I'm sitting like this at my desk. This is okay. If you don't have a back to your chair, make sure one leg is dropped down. It's going to pull your pelvis forward. It's going to pull you into that proper posture without you having to work at all, okay? And yes, you can switch legs and things like that. So that's how your legs want to be. You want your feet flat on the floor. You're a little bit shorter, you can bring a box and let your feet sit on that. If you're taller, you may need to sit on a pillow or something in order to be able to get your knees not above your chest, or not above 90 degrees. If your knees go above 90 degrees, you will be slouching backwards. So understand, again, that everything you do, you can't just tell yourself, oh, I'm going to sit up straight, because I'm not going to sit like this for 8 hours. There's not a chance. My back's going to get sore. I'm going to get tired. So you want to really set yourself for success. And in order to do that, you have to make your environment impossible to slouch. The next thing you want to do is you want to roll your shoulders up, back, and drop them down. All right? This is very important because all the time people are like this. And you want to get this out, okay? And it's not obviously as exaggerated as that, but it is very high. And that's part of the problem, and that's part of the issue with fixing posture, is so many people are like this to begin with. Now, if you do not, and what you want to do then is you want to bring your elbows to 90 degrees. Most people will have their tray table or their desk a little bit higher, and they're like, oh, all I'm going to do is raise my elbows. All you're going to do is not raise your elbows. All you're going to do is do this, which is going to perpetuate neck pain, back pain, all shoulder pain, etc. Okay? So, roll your shoulders up, back, drop them down, 90 degrees. Now you fix your desk to work in this position, okay? Everything comes in here. If your mouse is out here, you're going to be out here by the end of the day, okay? If your phone is out here, you're going to be out here by the end of the day. If something you use continuously is out here, you're going to be out here by the end of the day, okay? Everything comes in here. Keyboard here, mouse here, okay? You might have to buy a tray table or something to lower your keyboard. If you have a laptop, there is no way you can have good posture, all right? So don't even fool yourself, all right? You cannot have good posture and work on a laptop. It is absolutely impossible. So you're here. You want everything right in this line of work, okay? Nothing out here, all right? Unless it's like a stapler that you grab once in a while. Everything stays in here. My elbows are bent to 90 degrees. My wrists are in neutral. My shoulders are down. Super important, okay? Next thing is the height of the monitor. The height of the monitor needs to be at eye level, okay? If you have dualies, meaning two monitors, you want them close together, okay? So they're literally touching, so you're not like this all day on one and then like this all day on the other. You're going to wind up herniating a disc. You're going to wind up with some neck pain, okay? So dualies, 2 monitors, 3 monitors, whatever, close together as much as you can, okay? Obviously, at that point, you are going to have to turn your head, but it's going to be a little bit less than having to do this. You really don't want to monitor above eye level. So if you have monitors and they're up here, you really want to try and bring everything down to eye level or below. So that way you're not sitting like this. The higher the monitor, the more you're going to do this. That brings your neck, back, low back, everything into this slouch position. So really be careful of where you position yourself, where you position your monitor. Your monitor is going to drive a lot of that. And I know a lot of people will say, well, all I'm going to do is just look down. I'm not going to, I'm not going to slouch. No, you're going to actually slouch. Your eyes, wherever your eyes are, that's going to draw your head in. So make sure you're very keenly aware that your eyes need to be at the top of the monitor. Fix that, okay? Whether it's boxes, I don't care. Again, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just fix it. If you have a laptop, you have to separate either your monitor or you have to separate out your keyboard. You cannot have a monitor and a keyboard attached on a laptop. Those are the major points that you need to worry about when you're looking at posture. Yes, there's 100 little details that we can go over and talk about, but for the main parts, that's what you need to do to sit at your desk and to sit properly and to make sure that you are going to stay healthy and pain-free.